Habit of inquiry number 3. Act purposefully while collecting data. This habit focuses on teams working collaboratively to design and administer common assessments. It also encourages teams to have students be involved in the analysis of the results from the assessments. Where are we currently as a school? Within this habit, our school discovered that we have teams on a wide range of progress, anywhere from having no assessments used by the whole teams to groups regularly discussing the effectiveness of their common assessments. And as you can see in Artifact C2, this document serves as a guide for teams to follow in discussing the effectiveness of common assessments. So this document has 2 parts, and the first part asks teachers that created this common assessment to almost act as the students and complete the assignment themselves. And then as a group, they collaboratively evaluate the effectiveness of that assignment. The other part of the document asks that the group specifically look at just the student responses, and that ensures the quality of the assessment. So if we go back to where we're at currently as a school, we also determined at our school that one team was having students evaluate their own progress, and this was shown in Artifact C1. Students actually completed surveys to determine if they were on track to graduate, and so this was done by a group of junior students, and they filled this out themselves to kind of give themselves an idea if they thought they were on track to graduate and be thinking about their future plans. So once this was turned in, the counseling team could then take the results and evaluate those. If we think about our next steps in this habit of inquiry number 3, we need to think about improvement. And so teams on the lower end of the spectrum in habit number 3 need to discuss the importance of using common assessments. It may push teachers out of their comfort zone in identifying personal weaknesses, yet demonstrate that common assessments are an effective tool for student learning. This will clear the path for teams to work together and create common assessments. Finally, our school will seek out and celebrate teams using excellent forms of common assessments, not only giving other teams good examples, but establish the importance of working collaboratively in teams. Habit of inquiry number 4, analyzing data collaboratively. For this habit, teams seek agreement towards collecting and charting student learning data. It also asks to analyze and discuss the data collaboratively. Where are we at currently as a school? In one micro-unit at our school, the sole focus is to examine school and state assessment data. And this is shown in Artifact D1. So if we look at D1, this school and micro-unit would just be looking at state assessment scores. And in this document, it's broken down in a number of different ways, and that so far has just been the team and the school's focus. If we look at Artifact D2, this was a parent survey done by a group of senior parents, and the counseling team got these responses back, and they organized it and charted the data in this way through this document. If we look at the team that is furthest along at our school, they were filing electronic reports every 2 weeks for any failing students. And so in Artifact D4, this was done through Google Docs. And through Google Docs, this teacher could look at their classes and their students, and since it's organized in this way, could clearly see if any students were failing. And by the school policy, it stated that the teacher would then have to report any of these failing students every 2 weeks. And if we go back and think about how our school is going to improve in habit of inquiry number 4, our school will improve all these teams by first encouraging groups to look at more than just standard state assessment scores. For example, examining common assessment results allows groups to analyze student learning on a timely basis. Furthermore, it allows teachers a better chance of focusing on the most essential skills for learning. Our school will also give teams the tools to have a focused approach on sharing data. And if we take a look at Artifact D3, this would show data analysis guided discussion. And this is a great document where teams can really have a step-by-step guide in how they would go about looking at data, which can be an overwhelming process for any team just to look at all this data. But through this step-by-step approach, it makes it an easier way for teams to go about it. And then finally, our school will create more professional development time for teams to examine data, even labeling this time as data days, reestablishing to everyone the importance our school places on exploring student data.